Mine's Pat. Today we're going to do my very first time or attempt at making mead. Backstory and all that for me, Australian bloke, want to try some new stuff, learn some stuff, and yeah. I would suggest this to people not to make this if you're desperate for booze. You're probably not going to get that drunk off this stuff as I know it, but you might get lucky, might get a high alcohol content and might get good. Today I'm using Jack Spirko's recipe, as I've seen on YouTube, and also Michael Jordan's recipe. Both fairly knowledgeable American blokes. Should be good. We'll see. I will put information down in the links in the description below, and just so that we can work out what's going on. We'll need a couple of ingredients. Just doesn't come from thin air like some crazy people might think. A couple of recipes suggest different things, suggest different yeasts. I've gone with one thing that I can get on a regular basis. I know which shop I can get it from. It's fairly consistent with price. It's not too expensive, and that way it sort of makes life a little bit better. We've got an amberflow honey. So there you go. I have honey from amberflow apiaries. I struggle with that word, I know. Apparently it's wildflower. I don't really know how much different it is with honey. I'm not a massive honey expert, but we'll give that one a go. Got a kilo of that, which is about 2.4 pounds if you're looking on the old scale. The yeast I'm using, so EC 1118, it's a wine yeast. I'll also be using filtered water. Other recipes I've seen people go out and buy the water, but I've got a Brita filter, so I don't see much difference. Tastes the same. It's also good. The other thing you'll need is a large, I prefer glass, don't have to have glass, but there's preference. A large vessel to essentially so the yeast can do its job. Once you've got your vessel, where did we put that? Make sure you have a stopper and a air cap thing, so you don't get any nasties in there for the 30 odd days, possibly more, that it's going to take to ferment correctly. Ferment, that was the word I was looking for before. Alright, good size funnel for your honey, because it's a bitch. It takes forever to get into these bottles. Everything else, that's pretty much it. We'll go from there. I'll show you some methods of extracting the honey using warm water, not hot or boiling water, because the boiling water will stuff your honey up, and you really want all the enzymes and the fun stuff that goes into the honey from the bees and makes it better. So one thing I didn't mention before, you do want to at least run a little bit of hot water through everything. Boiling water is a bit better. It's up to you. It's your mead, not mine. I'm not going to be drinking it unless you know me and we do share mead, and then we can have a good time. Alright, so first thing you're going to want to do is put a bit of water down at the bottom of the jug. Just for the honey to sit in, so you're not throwing your raw honey or your honey straight onto glass, because you'll be mixing for bloody hours. Now, another thing I did mention is make sure you got all your tools when you start. Makes this process a hell of a lot easier. Had to quickly go around and grab a teaspoon, a kettle of water, just to make the honey move a bit better. Alright, moving into this. I've got a bit of water in the bottom of the jar. It's just filtered water. It's nothing crazy. It's not from Mount Cucamonga or wherever you want to go from. Doesn't make that much difference. So long as your chlorine and your bloody chemical levels aren't insane, you can use tap water wherever you are. Hasn't killed me before. Alright. I'll throw the honey in. And this can be a bit of a slow process, but honey is actually nice and crystallized, so probably would have gone quite nice on a bit of toast or something like that. You never know. Right, use some hot water to get the rest of that out. There we go. See, something I learnt from the missus. Alright, Alright, so whilst that's going in there, a good trick I did learn from a couple of the recipes I've seen online was a yeast nutrient. Bit of this stuff. Kind of looks like salty sugar. Apparently it's got chemicals in it that help your yeast give the maximum possible efficiency that you need or want. I'll throw a bit of hot water in there just to get this moving. Oh goody. There we go. Oh, it's starting to go. As you can tell, honey's a bit of a bitch. It does take forever. So, a bit of warm water in there. Chuck the lid back on. I do not need honey on my bar. Right. Going slowly still. It doesn't really matter about mixing honey with the water because we're going to be doing that in a later step anyway. You really want to have your honey as loose as you can. It does make your life a bit easier. I'm a big fan of the old swirl method when you're mixing stuff rather than shaking straight away because you don't want to introduce too much oxygen into your mix. I found that if you do, it tends to want to jump up, attack you when you're during the fermentation process. Yes, you do need a bit of, oh god, that didn't work. But welcome to the slow video. Yeah, that's close enough to a bloody kilo anyway, I reckon. Whatever, that'll do. I'm happy with that. The thing we're going to do now is just try and get this to get through this funnel. It is taking forever. Alrighty. Now, again, you don't want incredibly hot water, it will stuff your honey up. So what I've just done, electric kettle, just your typical kettle you get from any electrical store, any price you want to pay. The idea of this is a hobby for me. I don't really want to be spending a hell of a lot of money, but again, we'll get across to that and I'll put some descriptions if anyone has any comments or any questions. I'll happily answer them and point you in the direction of some shops if you do need to. Again, I am in Australia, so if we do get to a point, there we go. Sounds disgusting. Alright, so we'll put a bit of honey, a bit of hot water through the funnel. You'll see the last bit of honey out of the funnel. And then fill the rest of the jug up. Once that's there, what I will do, I'm only using this because I don't want it to go everywhere. She's a bit full. If you do have a lid or something like that, it'd be a bit better. So, really want to get that shit moving. You really don't want that down the bottom of your jar. That's not going to be good. You want all your honey to mix in with all your water. Can take a while. Me and my brain thinking, rubber cap, plastic lid, just use it like that. Another reason why I don't use boiling water is because it will mess with your yeast. If you mess with your yeast, you won't ferment properly, it'll take longer, the yeast will die. There's so many different factors in this that can cause problems. It's just better if you just go nice and easy. Strong hands are good hands in this one. It is glass, if you drop it, it'll bloody break and go everywhere. Just a little bit more, I reckon. Sweet. Now, I don't doubt for a second that someone's going to have a sook and say, that's not Mead, that's not this, that's not that. I'm making this for me to drink. If you don't like it, you don't have to make it. Alright. What we will do though, before we chuck the yeast in, is put a bit of the yeast nutrient I was talking about before. Now, you don't want to use a lot of this stuff because yeast loves it. It's like a little kid in chocolate. Can't help themselves. So, of course I won't open now because it likes to be painful. So you open it from the bottom part. Now, other recipes I've seen use a teaspoon. I've seen people use a tablespoon, which is way too much. A teaspoon, that's on the money. That's plenty and ample for what you need. Not a heap teaspoon. If you're Australian, you get your normal tip, but you know what I will do? Put it through the funnel. It's a good idea. Right, not make a bloody mess. Right, here we go with that. A teaspoon of that, straight in there. Now, at this point, I would suggest if you do have a very hot mix going on right now, it's not a good idea to put a large or even to chuck your yeast straight in because your yeast will crack the shits. It's like an angry little kid. What you want to do is let it cool down a little bit. Obviously you don't want to let it cool down to the point where the honey is just going to collect down the bottom. You want to obviously fill your jug. If it's hot or too hot, you're going to know. Good little trick I might do, put your hand over. If you can't feel anything in your hand, underside of your wrist is a nice little can't feel any heat coming out of that. It's a really good time to chuck your yeast in. So what we'll do, I'll chuck that back on for cleanliness purposes, I guess. We have cleanliness purposes. So yeast, again, just going 2 packets of that EC 1118. It's very popular yeast where I live. You can get it wherever you want. It's a wine yeast. It's very easy to get. So again, not going to know if this process is going to work for me or not. If it doesn't, it doesn't. That's why I'm filming it and showing you guys. Now hopefully we can learn from mistakes together. Alright, so now that the yeast is in, okay, water a little bit more. We'll fill the rest of this bottle up. Not going to shake it around, I'm just going to let the water bounce in, push the yeast down. The yeast will do its own thing over the next 30 days. We don't need it to go crazy. So, nice and full, nice and easy. I might just stop it around about there. I reckon that's enough. Yeast is a fun little experience. I learned from making beer. Not all Australians make beer, but some do. Yeast has a fun experience of making your water level rise and drop and piss around with the chemicals of it. You don't want to come home from work and find your yeast is played with your mead after 28 days and you're about to rack it and it's just gone. Right, so this is a very set and forget method, but it is a good idea to keep a good eye on what you're doing. Once the yeast is in there, she's nice and good to go. Rubber stopper, again, don't have to use glass, don't have to use the same stuff I'm using, but put your rubber stopper in. Now, with this bad boy, make sure you put some water in. A friend of mine didn't put water in his and it was quite hilarious. It was like he was making Vegemite, Marmite or Promite or whatever, depending on what everyone. There we go. You don't want to fill it up too much, probably just about halfway. Anything more than half is, the water's just going to go back into your thing and make life painful. Thing we'll do, make sure the stopper's in. Stopper's in. Filter's in. there you have it. That is the entire recipe. Now that's just for a honey mead or a very traditional mead. Shortly I'll be making another video and posting it online. I'll be doing a lemon lime mead. Probably should wait the 30 days, but if I've got a good recipe here, why would I wait? That's what I reckon anyway. Alright guys, any questions, leave them in the comments. I will attempt to get to them as soon as I can. If you're an Australian, I'll be able to send you to a store, a store that I've got my ingredients from. Again, I didn't pay a hell of a lot. I'm not going to harp on that, but yeah, cool. Cheers guys.